What was once the Polk County Courthouse now serves as the Polk County History Center and houses the Historical Museum and Library. The museum serves Polk's community through special events, volunteer opportunities, and educational programs. The museum's exhibits and programs continue to grow and change as new information and artifacts become available. During the month of June, the Polk History Center has events for everyone. The details are coming up next on Polk Place. I'm your host today for Polk Place, Tina Mann, and joining me in the studio is Murtis Young, the Historic Preservation Manager at the Polk County History Center. As always, it's a pleasure to have you here.
And Tina, you know, it's always so much fun to come and talk about what's happening at the History Center. Thank you.
So we're moving into the summer. We're closing out our Civil War events. We are now moving into a new era at the History Center per se. Why don't we talk about what is coming up in June?
Okay, wow, we really are changing the theme. And in June, we're going to take a look at Florida as it appeared about 1915, starting 1915 and going forward. We're going to start the program in June with our recommended reading, a book that's authored by Dr. Nick Wynn called The Tin Can Tourists in Florida, 1900 to 1970. And then Dr. Wynn also will be present for our Lunch and Learn, and he'll be speaking on the same subject. This was a very interesting and whimsical time in the state of Florida. As the Dixie Highway had just been completed, people could travel now from Chicago, Montreal to Miami by motor car. The Model T, the Model A Fords have been offline now, or online and off the line for people to purchase automobiles and travel. The theme, the footprint in Florida is beginning to change dramatically as we begin that early look at tourism in Florida. Obviously, as people travel to the state of Florida this period of time, we didn't have resorts, we didn't have the lovely hotels and spas to come to, so people just designed their own method of accommodations, and that's where the term tin can tourists comes from. People just found spots, they parked their car and created camps. So we're going to take a look at that period in our history, what that was like for people. We're going to find the back roads, places where people could come and find water entertainment and interesting sights and things to entertain themselves in the state of Florida. The Sunshine State is attracting tourists.
So that's going to be a good program put on by Nick Wynn, and that is actually on June 16th.
June 16th.
That's from 12:15 to 1. As usual, everybody's encouraged to bring their lunch and come listen and interact, and it's always a good program. So speaking of that road, that actually runs right through the middle of Polk County.
There are portions of the Dixie Highway a portion of the Dixie Highway came through Polk County, which really established for Polk County one of the early established Polk County as an early destination for tourism. And so in our exhibit we'll feature some of those early historical, they are historical now, some of those early tourism sites. It's really fun. Over on the east side of the county, over in the Loftman area, there's a portion of the Dixie Highway that's still visible. It's a brick surfaced road, and it's representative of that period of time when the Dixie Highway was the main thoroughfare through Florida.
And roads back then were nothing like they are today.
Not at all.
Not at all. So also upcoming in June is Family Fun Day. You want to tell us a little about what the families can experience?
Yeah, I'm really pleased that our team came together and created an opportunity in June to participate in Flag Day. Flag Day happens to be on June 14th and Family Fun Day is June 13th. So what we'll be doing at the History Center is providing a learning opportunity for our visitors to take a look at, do you know, all the 5 flags that flew over the state of Florida. So we'll learn about the flags that flew over the state of Florida, have an opportunity to learn a little bit about flag etiquette. It's very important. You know, there's a certain I'd say respect that we all need to learn about the flag and flag etiquette and up to a disposition of flags. So we're actually partnering with the Bartow DAR who will have a booth out. That's the Antique Fair Day in Bartow. So the Bartow DAR will have a booth, and they actually will be collecting flags that need to be retired. So we'll teach our visitors about flag etiquette, give them an opportunity to learn a little history about the flags that flew over the state of Florida, have an opportunity to create a flag, and if they have a flag at home that needs to be retired, we encourage them to bring it with them, go over and meet with the DAR folks, and properly dispose of the flag that needs to be retired.
I think, knowledge about the flags and flag etiquette is really a dying art, and something that I'm really excited that you guys get a chance to, let today's youth and families know about. So it's really important. And then, of course, as usual, they have an opportunity to tour the History Center. That is the architecture tour. What can they expect there?
The architectural tour is it's a guided tour. It's a curated tour of the beautiful, that 1908 neoclassical building, and it's an opportunity to learn about the construction, the other two buildings that preceded the building that's sitting there now, and a bit about the architecture and about the building and the way it was built, and some of the interesting stories about its past.
Okay. That's on June 20th. That's at 11. And also on June 20th is the historical marker unveiling for the town of Pierce.
Oh my goodness gracious, I am so excited about this. We have, the Friends of Pierce decided that they would like to sponsor the placement of a historical marker that will actually be erected on the site. It's actually, as I understand, on where the tennis courts were located at the town of Pierce. The story about these mining towns, the phosphate towns, is just, it says so much about our history. The towns had a very developed, highly developed quality of life. They had schools, they had athletic opportunities, merchandising, shopping was available at these towns, and I'm learning from our historians who visit the museum, who had the opportunity to grow up in one of these towns, how precious and dear these memories are to them. So historic Pierce is actually it's a mosaic heritage phosphate town, in that it has a direct line of descent from the beginning of Pierce all the way to acquisition by Mosaic. So this will be really fun. We're inviting the Friends of Pierce, the families of Pierce, and others interested to come to the museum. This is on Saturday, June 20th, and we'll have a presentation with some historic photos, and that'll be very interesting to go back and recall life at Pierce. But in addition, we're going to invite people to share memories and tell stories about growing up in Pierce and what life was like in Pierce. So we think this is going to be a very special, maybe some fun, and some real emotional memories will be shared on that day. So we do hope that everybody will take a little time and come visit us on June 20th.
And that's at 3 o'clock, and that'll be in the 1926 courtroom.
Yes.
Excellent. And I know I've gotten an opportunity to walk through the Civil War exhibit and how wonderfully it was curated and all the details, which is now closing out. So in its place, I'm so excited to see the new exhibit, and you guys do such a wonderful job. Why don't you tell me about what's coming?
Tina, thank you. Well, we're taking advantage of the centennial commemoration of the Dixie Highway, opened in 2015. So what we're doing is turning all of the rotating galleries will have some type of story about early tourism in the state of Florida, and how the Dixie Highway supported that, what happened when people started coming to Polk County. So we'll have one exhibit is all about how water attracted people, and it's called the Looking for the Fountain of Youth. And it's more than just the Ponce de Leon visit to Florida to find the Fountain of Youth. It's all about the relationship of visitors to Florida in the relationship of water and their experience. So another exhibit will be telling the story of the Dixie Highway and some interesting stories about attractions that evolved and early motor courts and accommodations communities that sprang up around Florida. And so this exhibit will be an opportunity to see and experience Florida's tourism evolution. And then answering the question of what happened to the Dixie Highway, what happened to these roadside attractions, and of course the rest of the story is the interstate highway system. So we wanted everybody to go back in time and visit and recall these memories of the development of Florida through the experience of the story of the Dixie Highway. And as a part of that, we are completing a permanent exhibit that will be a long-term exhibit in the community gallery that then will tell the story of Polk County's, specifically Polk County's early tourism. So we want to honor and recognize all those early exhibits, not exhibits, those early tourism opportunities that sprang up in and around Polk County.
Now you have one more exhibit you're excited about.
We are.
Your Victory Florida 70.
We are so pleased that the state of Florida put a call out to all the museums announcing that the state of Florida Department of State is commemorating the 70th anniversary of the end of World War II. The statewide commemoration is Victory Florida. And so what we're doing is we're opening an exhibit late June, and what we're trying to do is tell the stories of civilians as well as enlisted people from Polk County who contributed to this most important period in the world history. Florida played a very important role in World War II. You know, as a Sunshine State, we were the major primary area for training pilots in the airfields that evolved during this period of time. Manufacturing occurred. Floridians participated in the building of much of the fleet that serviced the war. And we are just so happy to be able to bring about a happy story about the end of that war. And what we're trying to do is give everybody an opportunity to celebrate the memory of the people in Polk County that participated in this important period of our history. We expect that to open at the end of June, and we even have an opportunity for you to come back and, well, stand and enjoy some fireside chats that occurred during that period in history.
That sounds like so much fun. It's such an interesting time there. And as always, all the events are free, so people should definitely come by and check everything out that you guys have to offer. So.
Thank you.
And I thank you again for coming out. I love talking to you every month.
Thank you, Tina. We love talking about the History Center.
The museum's collection includes natural and cultural objects related to Polk and the greater Central Florida area that represent our history from pre-Columbian to present-day eras. The artifacts on display at the museum represent individuals, cultural groups, and events significant to the region. Located at 100 East Main Street in Bartow, the History Center is open Tuesday through Saturday, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. For more information about exhibits and events, you can check them out on the web at polkhistorycenter.org or give them a call at 863-534-4386.